Have you ever loved a place that someone else desperately wanted to escape? What happens when one person's dream becomes another person's prison? This is the powerful, heartbreaking conflict at the very center of our story. The Return of the Native is the tale of a man who comes back to his home, Egdon Heath, wanting to enlighten it and make it better. But the woman he falls in love with sees this land as a cage and dreams only of breaking free. When two such opposing desires collide, they ignite a fire that threatens to consume everything and everyone in its path. Let's begin our journey into this unique and tragic tale. Welcome to Egdon Heath. This is not just a patch of land. It is a living, breathing character in our story. An ancient, silent power that writes the destiny of those who live here. Just close your eyes for a moment and imagine miles and miles of wild, untamed land, covered only in coarse grass and thorny shrubs. There is a strange, wild, and mysterious quality in the very air here. For centuries, this land has witnessed thousands of human stories of love, hate, hope, and despair. This land cares for no one. It simply exists, as it always has. And the people who live here are just as hardy and unique in their temperament as the land itself. Today, we are stepping into the world of Thomas Hardy's masterpiece, The Return of the Native. This is a story that will make you think about love, passion, and the games that fate plays. It's a story of dreams that are shattered and of hearts that connect in all the wrong places. Our story begins on Guy Fawkes Night, a night of fire and shadows. And among these shadows, we meet our first and perhaps most complex character, Eustacia V. Personally, I find Eustatia's character absolutely fascinating. She's beautiful like a queen, her hair is as black as night, and she has a fire in her eyes. But this fire is one of restlessness. She hates this heat, its silence, its every feature, with a passion. Her dreams are grand. She wants to be a part of the glittering lights of Paris, of sophisticated people and a fast-paced life. Here on Egdon Heath, she feels like a prisoner. How many of you can relate to that feeling? Have you ever felt that you were in the wrong place? That your talents were being wasted? Her heart, for the moment, is attached to Damon Wildeve, a handsome but incredibly fickle man. Wildeve is also a complicated character. He's drawn to Eustacia's passion, but on the other hand, he's promised to Thomasin Yeobright. Thomasin is the complete opposite of Eustacia. Gentle, soft-hearted, and connected to this land. And watching over all of them is Diggory Ven, the Riddleman. This character, Diggory Ven, is the strange and mysterious hero of this story. His body and clothes are stained red, which gives him an odd, almost unreal personality. But behind this red color is a very loyal heart. He loves Thomasin and has now become her silent guardian. He pulls the strings from behind the scenes, trying to ensure that Thomasin gets what is rightfully hers. And amidst this struggle, a name echoes in the air, Clym Yeobright, the native, who is returning from Paris. For Eustacia, this name is not just a person, but a ray of hope, a ticket to her freedom from this prison. She believes he might just be the prince who will rescue her from this wasteland. So Clym Yeobright returns. But here the story takes a strange turn. Clym is tired of the glitter of Paris, of the superficial life there. His dream is no longer to sell diamonds, but to open a school on the heath and educate his own people. Isn't that ironic? The very place Eustacia hates and wants to run from, Clym wants to improve and settle in. This is the fundamental conflict of the story. His mother, Mrs. Yobright, absolutely detests this decision. For her, it's like all her years of hope for her son have been washed away. She wanted to see him conquer the world, not become a teacher in a small village. Klim and Eustatia's first meeting happens during a mummers' play. The scene is written in a very romantic style. Eustacia comes in disguise to see Klim, and Klim finds himself drawn to this mysterious stranger. When the mask comes off, Klim is captivated by her beauty. Their love story begins here. But as I said before, I always feel that their love was based on a huge misunderstanding. They both saw in each other what they wanted to see, not what was real. Klim saw in Eustacia an educated, intelligent life partner who would support him in his mission, and Eustacia saw in Klim a means to return to Paris. Can a love that is built on the wrong foundation ever succeed? Don't we often fall in love not with people, but with our own idea of them? Please share your opinion in the comments. The love was like a glass palace, beautiful from the outside, but hollow from within. Mrs. Yobright, with a mother's instinct, recognizes this danger. She knows Eustacia will be a disaster for her son. She becomes fiercely opposed to the marriage, which results in a deep rift between mother and son that never truly heals. Klim, blinded by love, goes against his mother and marries Eustacia in secret. I think Klim made a huge mistake here. He thought he could fix everything, but he underestimated the complexity of relationships. After their marriage, their life begins in a small cottage. At first, everything seems fine. But soon, Eustacia's heart becomes weary of this quiet, boring life. The excitement and glamour she was used to were nowhere to be found. And then, fate plays another cruel, terrible game. Due to excessive studying, Klim's eyesight begins to fail, and he becomes nearly blind. His dream of opening a school is shattered. To earn a living, he has to do what the common laborers of the heath do: cut furs. Imagine Eustacia's situation. The man she saw as a prince from Paris had now become a blind laborer. This was unbearable for her. The grand castle of her dreams had fallen to the ground. Her patience was completely gone. From here, poison begins to seep into their relationship. The closed door, a point of no return. From this point, the story takes a very painful turn. This is the part of the novel that always affects me deeply. Mrs. Yobright, worried about her son's condition, swallows her anger and comes to see him, to reconcile. On a hot summer afternoon, she walks for miles. But when she reaches their cottage, the cruelest game of fate begins. A series of tragic misunderstandings and coincidences leads to the door not being opened when she knocks. She leaves, believing that her son and his wife have deliberately rejected her. The heat, the exhaustion, and the shock of a broken heart become the cause of her death. When Klim learns the truth, he is broken with grief and rage, and he puts all the blame on Eustacia. He screams at her, "You have killed my mother!" This was a sentence that ended everything. In your opinion, was Klim's anger justified? Or did he act in haste and say something that destroyed everything? Their relationship dies, crushed under the weight of this one sentence. It was a point of no return, the tempest and the tragic end. Now Eustacia has only one path left: to run away. She asks Damon Wildleaf for help, and then comes a stormy night, which brings a storm into all their lives as well. The storm wasn't just outside, it was raging inside their hearts. On this stormy night, everything becomes entangled. Eustacia, Wildleaf, and Klim are all brought together by the hands of fate near a raging river. In an accident, or perhaps a suicide, Eustacia falls into the river. Wild Eve jumps in to save her, and Clym goes after them both. The result? Eustacia and Wild Eve both drown and die. Only Clym survives. But perhaps his life was now worse than death. What a tragic end for desires that could never be fulfilled. This ending teaches us that obsessive love and impossible dreams can lead to nothing but destruction. Conclusion, aftercauses, and final thoughts. At the end of the story, we see that Thomasin and the loyal Diggory Ven get married. Perhaps this is the only moment of peace in the entire story, where two peaceful people find their peace. And Clym? Clym spends the rest of his life as an unknown preacher, perhaps regretting his actions. His dream of educating people came true in a different way, but in a very broken, incomplete form. So this was the story of the return of the native. For me, this is not just a love story, but proof of how deeply our desires and our circumstances affect our lives. It is the story of how devastating it can be for the right person to be in the wrong place. Who did you find to be the most important and impactful character in this entire story? And why? Was it Eustacia, Clym, or the silent guardian, Diggory Ven? Please let me know your valuable opinion in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this story and my style of telling it, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so we can continue to explore such excellent stories together.